actually shows the 20 greatest achievements in the last 20 years.
Yes, which
Kaya siya
started in
2020.
1986
Oo, so compute.
to
1986.
2006.
Yes, ang galing mo sa math. Okay, so mga kaibigan, atin pong tunghayan ang ating video entitled 2020.
Yes, roll video, please.
Huh? Do you know how long 20 years is? Oh my God!
How long is 50 years?
Very long.
What does 2020 mean?
It means perfect vision.
Do you think Meralco has 2020 vision?
Yes, it means 20 milestone achievements over 20 years.
In 1986, winds of change brought new beginnings. There was widespread euphoria over a newfound freedom. And there was high excitement over re-established democracy.
The business environment was energized with fresh prospects, new directions, and new hopes.
This was the year I was born. This same year, Manu Lopez returned to Meralco.
You know, when I arrived here, I had no illusions of being president and even chairman of this company. I thought that my stay here would be probably over a year or two.
1986 brought a fresh vision to Meralco.
And with passion and dedication, everyone in Meralco would work together to bring Meralco to new heights.
We started with basic organizational policy changes. Matters that were very practical, many of them related to discipline. They were seemingly simple changes, yet it took a strong corporate will to carry them out. This became the basis for progressive and positive values and ideas that would be needed in the forthcoming transformation.
So I had to undergo a tremendous transformation myself. I had to study, I had to learn.
A new kind of discipline was needed on all levels. Working for Meralco meant professionalism, integrity, and malasakit.
Integrity, loyalty, and malasakit are at the very core of Meralco's value system.
Integrity and malasakit would be the driving force behind change.
My objective is to present what we consider we do best, to deal with changes by changing ourselves.
Change meant breaking with habits and traditions that had become outdated.
It meant breaking down institutions that had become a challenge to maintain.
The John F. Cotton Hospital, one of the best, if not the best, tertiary hospital in the country, was transformed into a corporate wellness center.
40% take-home pay. Less overtime. Lighthouse was closed at night. No more airplanes, no more helicopters.
Meralco had to move with the times. It had to weed out whatever no longer worked for the common good.
When we started this, there were 8,700 employees in Meralco. We are now down to 5,900.
Organizational culture change was a big challenge.
In the year I was born, Meralco launched a 5-year electrification program for poor communities, bringing light to darkness, turning despair to hope.
In the year I was born, Meralco initiated the 11 billion peso Electric System Improvement Program.
In the year I was born, Meralco launched the ESOP.
The ESOP is one of the benefits of management's concern for its employees. It was really truly a malasakit gesture on the part of the company.
So we are allowed to subscribe a certain amount or number of shares based on the salaries of the employees. Our chairman called it liwanag sa kinabukasan.
The public offering of ownership shares was truly a historic milestone. Now, even the humblest employee had the chance to own a piece of Meralco.
And for most of Meralco's people, what used to be mere employment was now a partnership.
The atmosphere drastically changed. They were much more participative and so forth. So that's one major, I think, change that I've seen, the extent to which they are able to verbalize their ideas and share their ideas. And also that has come about because there has been a lot of continuous training that has taken place in Meralco.
They did their jobs better because they felt secure about their organization.
They were more confident because they had learned new skills and enhanced old ones.
They had more malasakit because they were partners.
And to galvanize these changes in culture so that they wouldn't forget, Meralco adopted total quality management.
The need to have an approach, a structure, and some sort of a documented system of analysis that is very relevant to operations was presented by total quality management.
Taking care of business.
Management took a hard look at Meralco's business practices.
In the year I was born, the government freed Meralco shares from sequestration.
And so Meralco worked even harder.
It employed new strategies, new practices, new tools.
With Manolo Lopez in the lead, Meralco looked far into the future
and studied better ways of doing things. Also, looking into what others were doing.
The question was posed, why don't we benchmark with some of the best utilities around the region?
Meralco wanted nothing less than to be the best.
In the year I was born, Meralco won the Management Award for Excellence in Information Technology.
In the year I was born, Meralco inaugurated SCADA.
There had to be a lot of fixing that was necessary to become world-class. It had to take a culture change.
The time was ripe for MTP. Working with Union Fenosa of Spain, Meralco re-engineered itself.
In the year I was born, so was the MTP.
I think what really propelled Meralco into undertaking a massive re-engineering was this continuous desire for continuing improvement and really to evolve the company into what we called then a world-class service provider. That the question is, why did it take 7 years? Basically, Meralco's transformation was enterprise-wide.
The first steps that they did was actually to go to the internal clients and to know their business requirements. It prepares Meralco to the upcoming deregulation, which is actually this July 2007.
MTP worked on improving the processes of networks. Second, MTP transformed networks into a well-oiled, synchronized organization.
Organizational culture change was a big challenge.
There are corporations that transform themselves, and after they transform themselves, they stagnate, Meralco, I think, continues to transform itself because it is dealing with, it operates in an environment that is very vibrant, that is continually in a flux. One of the key things is that the leadership also has transformed itself.
In the year I was born, Meralco was named Best Managed Company in the Philippines by Asia Money magazine.
We didn't even know that such magazine exists. It was a mark of truly good vision that even as we are winning awards, we are trying to change the company for the better.
What about money?
To address that issue, we floated the 1.5 billion pesos. But that's not enough. So in 1986, we consolidated all our debts.
But that's not all.
Unfortunately, the government allowed Meralco a 9.5 centavo rate adjustment.
But that's not all.
In early 90s, Meralco went public. That was the biggest stock issue in the market. So we are the darling really of the stock exchange at that time.
Very good.
In 2006, Meralco experienced also very tight cash flow positions, not because of economic conditions, but because of the regulatory environment.
Of 2006, IFR and CIT dropped tremendously as compared to what we had in 1986. Last year was 14.99 times from a high of 50. And then CIT at around 52.58 hours. But remember, we had some problems also last year. We were hit by strong typhoons last year, Milenio, Riming, and what else? We have also the Kaloy. In terms of system loss, from 21% in 86, it's now down to 10.1%.
In the year I was born, the 3 franchise regions were abolished, and all 9 districts were placed under the Chief Operating Officer.
In the year I was born, Meralco started a $6.5 million fiber optic telecommunication system project with Alcatel funded by ADB.
And in terms of communication, we have also enhanced our trunk radio system. We installed this BABX to all our sectors, branches, so it's interconnected. It's like we have our own mini telcos inside the company.
In the year I was born, Computer World Philippines ning Meralco, the country's top IT user.
We also successfully installed this computer telephone integration, which is very vital when you go into a deregulation environment.
In the year I was born, Meralco donated land for the Medical City Hospital. Meralco always first service first.
Magsikap tayo para mapagbuti pa ang serbisyo. The best revenge is good service.
Service!
At totoo nga, ngayon, kita mo sa kabila nung kaliwat ka ng mga batikos na yan. Ngayon, ang lumalabas sa mga survey, ang trust rating ng Meralco mataas eh.
Service. Service is not easy. Sometimes it takes very, very, very hard work.
The power crisis of the early 90s was a very challenging time for Meralco. The frequent brownouts made the public really angry, but Meralco had no choice.
We seem to be best when things are worse.
Even if the problem was with the generation, which we do not have control over, public anger was directed towards us. We even went to the extent of going to church. Remember, church, and we were given a slot after the communion just to explain.
And so, they endured.
And they delivered the best service under the worst circumstances.
The men of Meralco are hardy. They have always been. They do the work no matter what. They never flinch.
Meralco has a tradition from way, way back that every time there's a calamity to a man, everybody makes himself available.
In the year I was born, IPIRA was signed into law.
In Meralco, we have actually underscored the importance of regulatory management. And organizational units which were before never involved in the area of dealing with the regulatory commission now have to participate and have to, well, even the technical people, for example, when they prepare their budgets, are now made aware that we are doing this under a new regulatory environment. We're moving from the RORB, return on rate-based regulation, to what they call a PBR, performance-based regulation. We're starting off on the right footing, but we have to keep on defending our rates every year.
I remember before EPIRA, several years back, we have only one lawyer handling our regulatory cases. From one, we now have about 6 who are fully assigned to it. All the lawyers, about 25 lawyers in the department are handling regulatory cases also.
Sometimes, over the last 20 years, Meralco has been misunderstood by the people it works so hard to serve.
Sa dami ng pinagdaan ng batikos na galing sa kaliwa, kanan, sa gitna, mga rally pa sa harap ng building, may mga banderang pula.
What is it that makes us go to work when in the mornings we receive a lot of scoldings in the newspaper? They really love their work. And this company, for whatever reason.
Every time we file a petition for rate increase, it underwent a process. The Supreme Court said that the rate increase, the provisional rate increase was invalid, and so we have to refund.
The years was born, the Supreme Court ordered Meralco to give money back customers. Meralco took a hard hit from that.
Substantially. So all the gains that we had achieved before that were sort of negated.
Refund for me was one of those things. Was really very brilliant. I was very proud of it. I went to face customers, and the only instruction from management, you give them the refund with a smile.
It was done with a minimum of confusion, and it was something that no company has ever done before, refunding so much to so many. The act of actually implementing the refund unified the company.
30 billion pesos to our customers. That's the first one that really put Meralco in the red. Then there are successive issues on Meralco's rate adjustments.
And yet, despite these setbacks, Meralco remains dedicated to delivering the best service to its customers.
And we couldn't give us an excuse that we didn't have funds for capital expenditures if they complained about brownouts and so forth. So we still had to continue servicing them as best we could.
Good morning, Meralco turning 100 years old.
Meralco strives to be a socially responsible corporate citizen. Tunay na nagbibigay ng liwanag sa buhay.
Commitment to the community beyond just doing business.
In 2001, Meralco formed the CSRO.
In the year that twins were born, ECOP gave the Grand Kapatid Award to Meralco management and employees.
Power, utility, distribution was a monopoly for the last century. But with the passing of EPIRA, it's a whole new ballgame.
Efficiency is going to be the key word.
Noong araw, when a customer applies to you and Meralco connects you, hanggang mamatay ka, yun na yun.
We are entering into competition. We gotta be as cost-effective as anybody else.
Meralco today is a formidable competitive force, stronger than it has ever been.
And so at the end of the 20 years, I confidently say that we have better employees, both in their qualities and capabilities. Directly, we should credit the chairman, Mr. Manu Lopez, for making this happen.
That in times of difficulty, you always look to strong management leadership.
Still the very fabric of the company, which for me is loyalty, I think. And they really love their work.
I'd like to compare this to an orchestra, a 100-piece orchestra. I am just the conductor.
It took a lot to change a lot.
It took new mindsets, and work patterns in response to the needs of the times.
It required a well-trained, highly motivated workforce.
It required a team of high-caliber management executives.
And most of all, Manolo Lopez's visionary leadership, leading Meralco to grand achievements for 20 years and beyond.
Many of us in top management are in the pre-departure area. And if there is one legacy that we would like to leave behind to the younger ones, is that we've turned over a good world-class company for them to carry on. I'm very positive, I'm very confident that this new generation, this younger generation, will do very well and maybe even exceed the contributions made by the older ones.